Story. So like, she's just like, I know your voice from somewhere, and I was like, do you? What do you do in your time off? I'm a DJ, and she's like, wait a minute, you're that podcast guy, and I was like, hello. Like, she was really like excited, like
that's awesome. So she's been tuning in and watching.
Yeah, she watched like 10-15 episodes. I was blown away, honestly. I was like,
so
I was just like, thank you, like,
yeah,
thank you for the support. Like,
that'd be amazing to see all the different people that you don't even realize that are just tuning in all over, and you've been doing this for so long.
Yeah,
haven't you?
that's it. Been gone for a while. Yeah,
3 years or something.
All right, now that
better.
our entire audience is confused as to what the hell is going on, do you want
all right.
Do you want to say hello, Ali?
I just want to do a shout out. By the way, thank you, Kylie, for the hat. It looks pretty cool, but I'm going to take it off now. So I just want to do a shout out to Emma Bourbon whenever she's going to watch this episode. But like I was just saying, I went up on site, went to work, and then just she knew what the podcast was, and I was just like, oh my God, thank you. Yeah, that's it. All right, but let's start this though. So. Welcome, Chloe.
Thank you for
if you wanted to pull the mic in.
Oh yeah, it's a bit more.
Yeah, that's all right.
Is that a bit better?
So
I can lean back.
you're an MC.
Yes.
You're a DJ. Like,
well, not particularly a DJ. That's not what I would class myself as yet.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a bedroom.
Yeah, but still, that's all right though. Like,
but still, yeah, I've done a little bit of dabbling in it, and I would like to get more into the DJ scene down the track. But at the moment, it's more of a focus, sort of, on the vocal side.
But still, the MCing though, like that was cool as all hell. When I saw you at the sewing room, you're just like going at it on spitting on the mic, and it's just. It's amazing.
Was so much fun, and with Astrid as well. Kylie is just on another level. She is, and that was the first time I'd met her as well. So we we hadn't met prior to this, and I think you know how she was mentioning yesterday in the show about her being a troll and stuff. I think our initial, she would probably see this, but it's quite funny. I think our initial first meet might have been through her trolling me on Facebook.
Oh, really? Just casually, just like
yeah, but from ages and ages and ages ago, and then I was like, I feel like, but I couldn't quite remember, and then I saw her and was like, oh my gosh, you are just something else. You're a ray of sunshine, pretty much.
She's amazing. Like, after the episode yesterday, I was like, wow. Like,
yes.
I did not expect that, but it's just story after story, so much content. It was just amazing,
she's
honestly.
Definitely got a lot. And she knows what she's doing, and she's very focused, and I really appreciate her drive, determination, her marketability. She's just got the whole package.
She's very switched on.
Yeah, it was amazing to do that set with a female of such high intensity, because I've done some sets with a few other females before, but Astrid's was a little bit different, given that she wanted us to dress up as well, and it was just a whole show, and that's what I really like, is the theatrical element to it.
That's it, yeah.
Creating more of an entertaining show. But that was the first time that I'd rapped, sort of.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't really rap, which is why I think it's hard to sort of label me as an MC as such, because I'm more on the vocal tip. I prefer to off the cuff sing than I do to
that's pretty cool though.
Rap.
Like,
yeah, but that was the first time, and I don't know if you noticed I stuffed
no it was
myself
good
out, but I stuffed up.
No, it was good. It was really good.
Tried to say
like, it was so busy because it was GKM at the Sewing Room, right?
Jappa, oh my gosh, GKM and Jappa, and that sound system, it was just an absolute vibe, and it's really nice to see, like Kylie mentioned, the guys trying their best to bring about the diversity and the half male, half female, and just really, just
doing it proper, doing it right.
Exactly. And it's just, it was a really nice, it was a nice gig. It was a nice feel. It was a good vibe. Jappa was amazing. His set was incredible. The punters were incredible up the front. It was just,
I was there. I was very drunk that night.
Away at the front. But it's good. That's what you want, essentially, out of a gig, is for it to be interactive, really, with the DJ and the MC and the crowd, and for it to have that. So it was really, that's a bit of it up there.
So where did it all begin? Like, how did you get into music, and how did you, like, because you've done multiple gigs and you've done this and that and like bits and pieces and everything, right? So where did it all start?
Oh gosh, probably. So I've always been into singing and acting and dancing ever since I was a wee little one. I came through and did church singing for a little while there when I was
very nice.
Yeah,
like Catholic, Christian, or
Christian. So that was the Pentecostal church that I was involved in. When I was a child, I ended up being on the worship team through that. So that was a big contributing factor to me wanting to be on stage, I suppose. And then from there it progressed, and I was actually more of a lurker, I'll be honest. So
really,
I was the alleyway lurker at Amber, and
really?
with Billy and stuff. I'd be like, oh my gosh, these guys are so amazing, I just want to be up there on stage with them. And so I'd lurked around and made connections with people, and sort of made myself known that I liked to sing, and that's what I wanted to do.
What year was this?
This would have been before my daughter was born. Gosh, so this was like 2014.
Wow,
maybe?
okay.
Yeah, so I would have been only like fresh 18, 19 or something like that prior to having my little girl, and I'd been working in the club scene, and then I was the lurker sort of through the club scene.
What were you working, like bartender, or?
I was a bartender at Amber.
At Amber, okay.
Yes, for the Boom Tick for Liam. So I was passed around through Villa, Amber, there was Eurobar for a little bit, and I was actually door girl for Black Betty's.
Really?
Yes.
Whereabouts was Eurobar? Like,
do you know, gosh, what's it called now? I think it's Fly Right.
Oh, really? Yeah,
maybe?
so Fly Right and then Nevermind Small Club.
Yes, okay, that's right. So that used to be Eurobar, and it was where all the R&B hits were played, and I remember it was my favourite, one of my favourite places to be.
Can we try and pull up Eurobar? Like, that's forever ago, because like Fly Right was forever ago, and then
Black Betty's and all of that as well, and Parker. And
how was it bartendering at like Black Betty's and you know, and Eurobar and everything, like?
Because
it would have been it's a while ago, so
it was at a point in my life where that's what I wanted to be doing. I'd rather be on the side of the bar where I was making the money than spending it, and I enjoyed the rapport that I could build with customers and making sure that they were having a safe and fun evening. So it was a whole thing for me, and I also loved being in the club with the music and the atmosphere of it all. But working for, oh my gosh, Black Betty's was probably one of my favorites, just because of the crowd, because there was such a diverse mix of people that you don't really see around altogether anymore. Like, I don't know if you went to O Snap and things.
I've heard of O Snap. I've never been though.
I might be able to pull up some photos, but it was very how would I put it? People that like to wear unit.
Like Fox and like
Fox.
Yeah, like motocross.
So, yes, motocross and BMXy sort of people.
Okay.
So your grunge sort of feel to it.
So Black Betty's was a rock and roll bar, or? Yeah,
yes.
okay.
But then in between, they would have a DJ that would play a mixture of top 20 and then some old sort of 80s house with a little bit of every now and then techno. It was very interesting.
Really? Like all over the place then?
Yeah.
That sounds all right though, because Black Betty's have been around for a long, long time, right?
Yes, and it's been around. I think it was the post office prior to it being Black Betty, so it's still going today now.
That's it's Jackrabbit Slims.
Jackrabbits, that's
right. Yeah, because it was Black Betty's, then at Parker, and then Jackrabbits.
Yeah,
I think Jackrabbits have just had their 10th birthday, I think.
Oh my gosh, it's going so
fast. Yeah. But see, I remember going to Black Betty's ages and ages and ages ago as well, like when I first turned 18. So.
Oh wow! I wonder if you were coming through when I was on the door.
Maybe we might have bumped into each other. Maybe.
Maybe. Well, yeah, it was good fun. It was so nice to work for Marco. Shout outs to Marco. Can't really talk to him anymore, but shout outs to him because he was a fantastic boss at the time. And yeah, it was just a really good atmosphere, and that's where it sort of started. Oh gosh, I need to get this in my face.
Sorry.
Yeah, don't worry, it happens. The lean happens.
Yeah.
Away from the microphone.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
I'm gonna start rocking on it and make Astrid angry.
That's it. Yeah.
But yeah, that was an introduction to the club life and the music scene industry in Perth, I suppose. And
well, that's a really good introduction to it all, though, because that's in the before times almost.
Yeah. It's funny talking about it now because it just feels like it was, but it wasn't yesterday. But it feels like it was yesterday.
It's all the memories.
Having fun.
Exactly.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So how did you end up being an MC at D&B events?
So a couple of years passed. I was lurking around the scene, doing my thing. Everybody knew that I liked to sing because they get me in alleyways and make me sing things. And I ended up bumping into a promoter called Adam Seal. Shout out to Adam. He was running machina promotions at the time.
Machina promotions.
Yes.
So what type of event was that?
So I'm so sad that he is not, I won't call him out right now because I'm sad that he's not running these events anymore because nobody seems to be running them. This sound that he was creating was the very liquid melodical, just that vibey.
Like house?
No, drum and bass.
Oh, drum and bass, okay.
Yes, but the liquidy side. So the really, like when you get the jazz instruments.
Yeah, melodic and just
you
takes
feel
you on
like
a journey.
You're in a little thing of water just being bumped around, which is, He doesn't do these gigs anymore, but my first ever gig was with him for Technimatic.
Okay.
So he actually told me that he was away at, I think it was Outlook or Sun and Bass Festival over in the UK. So the predominant music festivals over there.
Yeah.
And he had booked Technimatic and had heard of me at the time. And I was nobody at the time, but he knew that I wanted to sing. And basically he said that he chased down the promoters at this festival and said, you need to give this girl a chance. Like, please, will you let her MC for your set? She'll just accompany you. She won't be too much, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, okay, we'll give her a chance. And that was because of Adam. I got my first.
How was it though? Like, was it quite terrifying? Like,
I was
really good?
shitting myself. I was shitting myself.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
I was honestly, my stomach was up in my mouth. I thought I was going to vomit. It was like intense, but I was very lucky. I had my friend Mystic there at the time. Shout outs to Mystic over in the UK. He's a rapper. And I had my other friend Yali. Shout outs to Yali over in New Zealand. She's an incredible rapper as well. But they were backing me up at the time. So it was nice. I had a little support crew. And anytime I got a little bit nervous or I thought I was stuffing up, I'd run over and be like, is that okay? They'd be like, yeah. Okay,
yeah, no, you're going good.
You must have been doing all the right things off the stage in order to get on the stage. So
well, I don't know how, because if you
they knew.
not to think that I was a cretin or anything, but I was a bit of a mischievous little monkey, slinking around.
Well, weren't we all when we were younger? Like,
yeah, exactly. But if you will see me in a lot of the photos from Inhibit gigs or Protocode gigs prior to me being on stage, where I'm front and center like you, just face.
That's exactly it. Yeah, it's the way to be.
That's it. Oh, yeah. That was one of the first gigs for Good Karma.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that's Degs in the corner.
And so,
this one here.
Yeah.
For that first gig, how long did you sing for? Because was it in between tracks? Was it on top of tracks, or like?
So that was the really difficult thing for me, was finding something to go off and compare to, because I actually wasn't across too much emceeing. I'd watched a little bit of the guys doing their thing in the UK over sets, but I hadn't found a female at that time that I could look to be like, okay, cool, this is how much I should be doing. I shouldn't do over this. I shouldn't do over. It was honestly just such a learning curve until Excessive put me onto MC Tali.
MC Tali, okay.
Yes, so he put me onto her, and that sort of helped me to understand, okay, so you need to be singing across only small sections. You can't do too much at a time because you don't want to take over, essentially. I'm there to pump.
Yeah, help. Yeah, bring the vibe up more. Like,
not to take over and be like,
yeah.
So that was a big thing for me. And at the show, I got told that I could probably do a little bit more, which was good to know that I hadn't. I'd rather do too little and know that I could do a bit more next time than too much, because you can't reel that back in.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
So yeah.
But then, so like with the singing though, so like. Was it liquid drum and bass, and then you were singing? And so, like, what were the lyrics that you were singing? Like did you prepare and like kind of write stuff?
Some of them I did. Some of them I just pull from my own songs that I have.
Okay.
And I will just try to hear a different melody within the song. If I can't fit my own melody that I've written it to, I will just try to see if I can get something on the fly that works with the key that I'm in, or the pattern that I'm in, or something like that.
And so your own songs as well? So you've written your own songs?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
I've got so many, and I've been sitting on them for such a long period of time, but I was working with a producer for quite some time, and I put all my eggs in one basket, so to speak. So that was another learning curve for me, and I'm in the process now of learning my own production so that I can release them. Because I found it very difficult. This isn't throwing shade on anyone either, but just for myself with my own process is finding someone that really meshes with my voice and my sound and what I want. And same for them, and then making sure that we're both across the mental health side of things, given that I'm ADHD autistic. I can get a little bit of, being an MC and stuff, you wouldn't expect that, but I have a bit of sensory overload sometimes. So I need someone that's okay with that and accommodating or understanding to that, really. So
well, see, that's the thing as well. I've actually got ADHD as well.
Yeah.
But then I stopped taking my medication forever ago. But I just find, honestly, like with the DJing, it helps so much.
Yeah.
Because like actually being able to just like do so many different things at the same time, like see what's going on in the crowd, try and select the next song, try and do this, play with the effects, do that. It's just like just all over the place, but then still making it work though.
Yeah.
And it makes it like, in a way, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's more of a show, isn't it? Because you're doing so many things at once and people are like, what is he?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. So then with your songs though, so like how many tracks do you have, and like are they on Spotify or anything like that, or SoundCloud,
available online?
Yes, so there's
Can
one.
we play one or two?
Yeah. Everyone's probably sick of it by now, but
no, don't say that.
well, maybe not. But my first ever track that I released is the one down the bottom there. You'll see it with the yellow love heart. Yes, that is Hold Me with Diminish and Mystic, so Excessive, Diminish.
Is it on a record label at all?
That was signed to Focus Records.
To Focus Records?
Yeah, over in the UK, which is just...
That's amazing,
it's
though.
Incredible.
Do you have any that aren't on a record label? Because otherwise, if we play it, we could get copyrighted.
Actually...
It's so silly, though, because it's like, you're here, and you'd be like, no, you can play my music.
Yeah.
But then they're just like, well,
so funny,
because we had
Ben Renner on.
Yeah,
he said on camera, "Yes, you can play my track."
Right at the beginning of the podcast, we just said like, "Can we play your music?" Yes, I give you permission to play my music. And then still got striked for it.
Gosh,
I don't think it's the label's fault. I think it's just like it's their duty to put it up on the algorithm, and then the algorithm picks it up.
That's
it.
It's
an automatic thing, like a screening. Yeah.
So, bloody Facebook.
It's painful, isn't it? When I first saw that happening with people doing their mixing and stuff, and people doing all their live sets.
And then just getting taken down. Yeah.
Such a shame. But I do on YouTube. It's not on a label. I don't think it's on a label. Shout outs to Zero.
Zero?
Zero MC and Aiden Kurt. I did the song with, and I don't think it's on a label. I don't think they've signed it to anything. So you should be able to. You should be able to.
I wanted to ask as well. So like when you sing with drum and bass, like do you have to sing quickly, kind of thing, because it's so fast, or like?
Yeah, well, sometimes, and you have to get the syncopation similar to the rapping sometimes. But then there's other times where you can really let it flow. I like to just do more oohs and ahs and things to create more of the ambience and the atmosphere rather than cutting through with lots of vocals too often.
Well, that's the thing about like liquid drum and bass, like it takes you on a journey, like, and it's just so chill, it's so mellow, but it's just like so fantasy at the same time sometimes.
It is.
And like especially like you said with the jazz, in like when they bring in so many different instruments and the whole lot, but it's just like it's just its own thing almost. It's just amazing. So
absolutely, I'll find myself on the weekends just going down to the coast and sitting and just listening to liquid drum and bass.
Really?
Different playlists. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite genre?
Oh my gosh.
Is it drum and bass?
Do you know what? I'm actually more blues and jazz.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, more so than drum and bass. I love my drum and bass, don't get me wrong. I love drum and bass. But my favorites would actually have to be more of the slower jazz, old school, like Motown. I absolutely adore. And I love a lot of Erykah Badu, Lauryn Hill.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all right.
And I like Quasimodo and stuff. Yeah. So there's a lot of different influences other than drum and bass. Drum and bass has actually been taught to me over, I'll probably say the last 4 or 5 years since being in the scene is as introducing me more and more and more, and then having to research more and more and more for gigs and things like that. But
so after that first gig that you did, then like what happened after that? Like did you get more work and like people started approaching you about, yes, we want you to sing at our events? Like,
yes, it was crazy because there was this amazing girl there and she asked me to sign her book, and I was like, I don't even know who I am. She was like, I need to do this because you might be famous one day. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love you.
Wow, that's amazing.
It was
though.
So cool.
Like and that's like a proper fan right there.
It was,
well, you had a moment like that, didn't you, Alex, at the Mine Site?
Shout out Emma. Like,
Shout out the fans.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's just so beautiful to have that support and have people like what you're doing. That's it, and liking your sound. And from that I had Terrence and Philip hit me up. Tez hit me up to do a few of the Good Karma gigs, which was fantastic. I was annoyed with myself because I was going through all my art folders and I was trying to find something from the moment I met Tez, because he came over with me. Oh my gosh, I'm fading away again. But yeah, Tez came over to chat to me because he was like, I want to get to know the new female MC that's coming through. And I was like, gosh, I respect that. That's really nice. I'd like to know who I'm working with too and make sure that we're on the same wavelength. Yeah, exactly. And so he's come over and I don't know, I must have been in a weird, goofy mood. But I had this thing at the time where I was getting people to draw just draw something random off the cuff. I was like, can you just draw something for me that describes this situation, or just anything in this situation, just draw what comes to your mind. And for some reason I was like, we'll do this with Tez and we'll see, I'll gauge what kind of person you are by what you draw. And he ended up drawing this thing called Greg the Cat, and it is the funniest demonic looking thing. And I was like, I'm not sure. I was like, I'm not sure.
Your brain,
Greg the demonic cat.
I wish I brought it with me because I wanted to show it. It was so funny. But it was just a really cool way to meet a promoter and to get to know someone and to be on the level, and besides it being a demonic cat. It was really cool. But I started getting approached by more and more people, and I had other gigs reach out to me as well. So I did the bushfire appeal for a friend of mine.
Bushfire appeal?
Yeah, so
was that with Southbound?
No, so it was through Interstate Mates, I think is what she called it.
Okay.
Which was just bridging the gap at the time when we had all those horrific fires that were going on. I don't know if you remember those. It was that
was up in Kalamunda and stuff, right?
Yeah, it was horrific, and all over East as well. It was just it was like we were being ravaged at the time, which was it was quite horrible. But I'd been asked to jump on board for that.
This one, so the Interstate Mates, okay.
And, so we had a wonderful lineup at was. It was in this gorgeous farm setting.
A majestic tree canopy of L&B Tree Farm.
Yes, that's it.
Wow.
This
Okay.
gorgeous shout outs to the people that own that farm as well, because they're this gorgeous community where they homeschool their kids and they have all this fresh produce growing and they're very sustainable, looking after the environment, and it's just
Wow. Okay, that sounds amazing.
yeah, really wonderful people to be.
Yeah. See if you can find it, Mitch. That
involved in.
sounds. And so, like, can you just go and stay there, or?
I'm not sure what this was a few years ago now, so I'm not sure if they might have opened it up a bit. Oh my gosh, yeah. Looks like it's changed a fair bit.
Okay.
Or is this, what's the, I'm looking at something else.
There we go. I've got the images up.
Okay. Oh no, that's not it. That's
This is not it?
Suburbia.
Yeah.
L&B Tree Farm Project Gallery. So I guess they do projects outside of the...
Yeah, out of the actual farm, so that must be all the stuff that they're doing or have been doing.
Yeah. Okay.
Gosh, they've been doing a lot. It's amazing. Well, see, they were incredible. It was just beautiful to be a part of something like that and to be making a difference. And yeah, I hadn't done anything of the sort prior to, so it was really cool to be involved in. I was shitting myself again, so they put up with me sort of shaking, doing my thing at the front, and they were really accommodating, so I appreciate them.
No, well, that's
for
good
that
though. Like,
experience.
just like helping out, and then just being part of it in a way.
Yeah, exactly. So it was really nice. Oh gosh, yeah. That's the.
Oh,
that's
that was the song.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. I just... Yeah, don't mind that. We can go back to the song later. When we talk about it.
So,
Yeah.
so then with all that, like, so you've done that as well. Like, what other gigs have you done? And like, so with like Terrence and Philip, did you sing on one of their songs and it got released, or?
I was hoping to do that, but at the time, so my mental health at the time that all of this was taking off, I was battling behind the scenes. So at the time that I was acting like everything was all good behind the scenes, I was not.
Okay.
Which meant that I was taking on a lot of projects or accepting a lot of projects that I really shouldn't been. And I just, if anyone's watching this, I apologize to anyone that I've not gotten back to in regards
It
to
happens
those
the best of
projects.
us, yeah.
Well, that's right. And I
And
wasn't
especially because you were new to
prioritizing.
the scene, you your first crash, because I mean everybody does it after a while.
Yes, if you're not prioritizing, if you don't have good boundaries in
Yeah.
play, if you're not communicating in the right ways, then it's going to come down on you eventually. So I was really, really sort of, battling at the time that everything was taking off. So it made it quite challenging, I suppose, getting through it all. But it was, oh my gosh, I've just lost my train of thought.
No,
That's
that's all right.
amazing.
Well, I wanted to ask, like, so with the mental health side of things, was it like depression or like what was?
It was a whole host of things. So I was also working in business finance at Bank
wow.
West. Yeah.
Okay, so
I
the
was-
stress then, like,
it was huge compounding external stresses at the time. I was going through a crappy separation, moving house, and I just, with the autism and ADHD now, finding that out, it was a full just burnout. I just really was burning out. So I was taking on, I was taking on all these projects, and I had Tez hit me up and just say, hey, have you got any lyrics that you could give us on the fly? And I went, oh gosh. And at that time, I hadn't really worked with many people. I hadn't been in a studio. I hadn't done too much of that sort of stuff. So I went, oh, I don't really have anything like that. But if you have a song, I could try to write to it. But I never really got that back from them. And then because I wasn't in the best place, I didn't pursue it. I'd love to pursue that with him now in the future. And I think we will revisit that. But at the time, I wish, I wasn't in the state to be able to. And there's a few other people that had approached me and I had said that I would be able to do it and I just was not able to. So I'm slowly
well, that's the thing.
revisiting it all. Yeah.
Like the door didn't really close by the sounds
No.
of it. So,
There was no shutting, and that was the big thing, is I wanted to make sure I wasn't shutting the door on it, despite the feelings that I was having, how intense, how raw, everything that I was going through. I didn't want that door to shut. Music's always been my passion. Since I was a little girl, I wanted to perform. That's been my thing, my dream. I actually wanted to be on Broadway, but
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a little bit different. We got to start somewhere. That's it.
Well, that's exactly it. And like, you never know, where life can take you as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you could be playing at Broadway next year. You never know. Like,
it could be. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Anyone listening, I'd love to be on Broadway.
And then like that girl that got the signature, then she'd be like, oh my God, she did become famous.
That'd be nice.
I've always been a fan of the idea of you don't get the option given to you, then you should just go and do it yourself.
Yeah, that's it. Take it yourself.
Yeah, and
make it and take
art is great in that good art is what breaks boundaries. It breaks the norm, and it is different. So yeah, even if you don't get the option that you want to go to Broadway or something, make your own Broadway show, and make it different and make it interesting.
I like that idea.
Because it is all about standing out, and then as you just said before, Mitch, like it's breaking the norm.
Well, breaking
one
the
door
societal
closes and
stand.
another opens.
Exactly. That's why I loved the interview with Astrid yesterday, and her just talking about throwing herself into everything. It's so admirable to see a person being able to step past any sort of barrier in life and just go, this is me. I am now the best.
That's it.
Take it or leave it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I just love that. I love that mentality. And you're right. It's a good way to be, and it's the confidence behind you to back yourself.
And confidence is key. Like being able to have confidence, and then that's it. just like Kylie yesterday. I've never done a corporate gig before, but yes, I can.
Yes, I can, and I will be the best.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it.
I think it's also important to remember that there are people out there that can do that and go out and take every opportunity and have the energy to do that, but there are also people out there, and especially because it might be an overgeneralization, but I think a lot of artistic people, musical people, they're more introverted than extroverted, and so for people like that, it is harder to just chase after all of these options. So I think it's also okay to pick and choose what you're going for too, especially if you're that kind of person that knows where your boundaries are as well. Just pick the things that suit you better and don't feel the need to have to go after everything as well.
And
it's this weird balancing dichotomy that you have to
that's it.
It's all learning, isn't it? It's all a process, and everybody's going to be unique and different, and it's a beautiful point to touch on, because that's something I'm really, really passionate about now, is making sure that everybody understands their limits within the industry and takes that time and doesn't feel the need to be on social media 24. I think that's a huge thing because of marketing, and that comes into play, and everybody, it's at the touch of our fingertips, and everybody's there 24/7.
That's it, on their phone.
But because it's there, it can really affect the mental health, and like you're saying, those that can do it, they can do it for the period of time, but it's making sure that you do take that time.
That's it.
For yourself, and knowing you can take the time for yourself.
Yeah, because you can't burn out, and it's so easy to burn out when you're just sitting there and you're just like trying, just pushing content out and trying to do this and trying to do that and trying to take off, and that's exactly it. And staying on top of all the new trends, the new fads, this and that, or whatever it may be. But the thing is, it's just like it just takes its toll. It can really take its toll.
And you don't want your passion turning into something that you despise doing either.
Well, that's the thing, and there's a conversation I've been having recently with some people since stepping back into the scene, is they felt the need to step away from music and their passions due to how it was making them feel, and that was where it was getting me quite upset, because music is an outlet. It is an outlet for us to be able to express ourselves in that way, and we shouldn't be at such a dark place where you'd feel the need to step away because it's actually exacerbating any issues that you have. So that's something that I think it's beautiful to see events are really trying to make it more inclusive and more safe and more more of a friendly, inclusive
but
event.
That's the thing though about it. It's like it's alcohol. It's alcohol fuels the violence sometimes. And it's not just it's not events. It's just everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And it's like what's happening with Northbridge, for example.
I won't step foot in there.
Yeah, so many people just don't do it anymore. I know so many people just don't want to go to Northbridge because the amount of stuff you hear and the fights and all the things that go on, but it's all alcohol. It's all alcohol, and it just something happens and then they push each other and then it kicks off.
Yeah, and you can't sort of bring people back from that when they're in that
that
toxic
state.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the same time, I think that the party in general is is everybody's responsibility. Whether you're a punter or the person putting the event on, everyone shoulders a bit of responsibility, because obviously there's drugs and there's alcohol going around, and while that's mildly accepted in the industry, it can lead to
certain behaviors
that people don't like.
Yeah.
So even as a punter, you have to understand you're going to a party because everybody wants to feel good. That's the point of going to a party.
Yeah.
And so if you're going to go there and make it stressful for anyone, you're ruining it.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, what do they say? They say leave your problems at the door.
Yeah.
Well, correct, because you're there to party. You're not there to have a counselling session and
Yeah,
whatever else.
Yeah.
Smash on
Too
with
many
someone.
times I've walked out of the club and there's a line of girls crying on the pavement, and there's 2 guys fighting down the alleyway, and it's why go out when you're in that sort of mentality?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's right. I think that's another sort of
but that
bird's
comes
eye issue of societal issues then, and space being made for more mental health and people being able to seek the help that they require, so they're not ending up in Northbridge off their face trying to punch on because of something that happened at home kind of thing. But then it's a massive issue.
Yeah.
It's a big thing that
it's like to try and
you can only do your best from our little points that we're in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then it's just like the education behind it as well, where it's like there should be more outlets available. It's like, look, if you're struggling doing this, like, don't go to Northbridge, go here instead.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's beautiful to see in 2022 that more of that is happening. But it would be good to see even more, a lot quicker, so that there is more space, and this air of, especially Northbridge, I don't want to walk through there even in the afternoons, when the sun's setting.
Yeah.
It's that whole, gosh, you have to look behind you and make sure, have eyes in the back of your head kind of thing.
That's it, yeah.
And we shouldn't have that at all. Like, it'd be nice to see, mental health taken seriously to a point where you actually have this beautiful space that we all dream about, that pipe dream, I suppose, of seeing it all happy.
See, it's just
friendly.
Yeah, like the only thing they can really do is just the education behind it, but it's not going to be overnight.
No,
so it's
a process.
It's not something you ever get rid of. I think it'll always be there. I think the idea is just to minimize it as much as possible.
Yeah, it'd be nice. My hope is to go for the extremity that it could be potentially eradicated, and everybody could have a really lovely home and a platform to all, we've all got the same start in life, rather than it being staggered and things like that. But you can only hope for the best whilst expecting.
That's it, yeah.
Shit to hit the phone.
But see, it's just like, it can be so ridiculous though, because it's like, if a girl tries and walks home, it can be so dangerous for her to try and go home.
Well, you see them manufacturing the key rings and stuff now. I don't know if you've seen them.
Key rings?
They're proper chunky key rings for women that have to maybe do night shifts or walking through late at night and things like that, that have a fluffy, it's like a bunny rabbit looking tail in different colours, but it'll be pepper spray, or it'll be something that will be like a taser.
Oh, really?
Yeah, something to arm themselves just to be safe, which is just...
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's
I know they've started adding like panic buttons on smart watches and stuff like that now, so you can like auto dial 000 or whatever. So.
Yeah.
Well, see, my old phone actually used to have that feature where if you tap the power button 3 times, it would actually automatically dial whatever number you set it as.
Oh, okay.
And it was quite funny because like you can also set a message. And so I just had it as the standard message, and I actually had it set to my parents' number. So I went out clubbing one night, and I bumped my phone 3 times in my pocket. And then my parents were like, "Are you okay? Are you all right? Like, we just got this message like you're in trouble. Like, what's going on?" I'm like, I didn't do that. Sorry, yeah. It's 4 a.m. in the morning. It's okay. Like I'm at the club.
Having a fantastic time. Maybe the phone isn't, but
that's it.
I accidentally dialed 000 like twice in my pocket. So.
Really?
I think that's a decent number of times.
Yeah, I think so, because you get in trouble for doing that.
Yeah, you can.
Going back to this idea of the behaviour at the nightclubs, I think a lot of it starts inside the nightclub, though.
Yeah, yes, I do agree. Yeah,
promoters are a big part of that. The event organisers, I think, as well, and making sure to encourage certain behaviours and discourage others that you don't want to have around.
But more specifically, they've brought in this idea of, I can't remember what the name is, but you can go up to the bar and...
Oh, it's the angel shots.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Shots, yeah. Every bar has a slightly different version of it. But I think that's probably going to be more important than these, you know, pepper spray or whatever, because that's obviously a last resort.
Well, exactly right.
But
if you're calling
I think a lot of these, especially girls, they get followed out of the club.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. That's what. So I was at industry night a few years back, and I actually had my drink spiked, and I was the designated driver. So there was no chance that I was drunk. There was no chance that I wasn't taking any drugs. I indulge in my marijuana every now and then. But that was about it.
Yeah.
Not enough to be on the floor passing out in Metro City for industry night.
Were you okay?
I was okay, but the crazy thing about it is they target you like that. So they will date rape you, whatever they do, drug you or whatever, and then watch you, make sure that you've staggered off by yourself. And when you've staggered off by yourself is when they will then try to approach you, cup you as if to be like, oh, she's you know, yeah, and take you down to the security and be like, she's just a bit fucked up, I'll take her home, kind of thing. That's what I was saying with a lot of it.
Wow.
Inside the club.
It's scary. And the fact that it happened on an industry night as well, I was absolutely shocked. So I was lucky I had friends there, and I was in a corner by myself, but I felt it occurring and saw a friend through the crowd and luckily lunged at him and passed out as I lunged. And so he managed to get me and carry me out with the bouncers and sort me out outside. So I was very, very lucky.
Yeah.
In those circumstances, there are disgusting people that think it's okay to lurk in the shadows, do that to someone and then wait for you. So it's a big, like you're saying, it is a big thing of everybody being involved and looking out for everybody, and the promoters making sure that is the atmosphere, that it is a safe atmosphere where people are
doing the right thing.
Yeah, exactly. Doing the right thing by each other, by themselves and by each other.
But see, like just recently as well, like Freo Social was in the news for the spiking incident. Can you pull that up if you can?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Like it was very full on because I think it was like a couple of spikings. So,
far out. So
yeah. And it's just like in one night, and it was look, drink spiking woman. Here we go. Walk or speak.
Far out.
And what date was this?
This was September 13th.
Yeah.
2021.
Yeah, so last year, yeah.
Yeah.
But then it's just fancy that. And it's like you just go out for a fun night out with your friends.
And you don't expect it.
And all it is just like they drop a pill in your bloody drink, right?
Yeah.
And then you don't even notice.
That's another thing that's come out. I'm not sure if you guys have seen, but it's fantastic. I think it's called, I hope I get this right, I think it's called Nightcap.
Nightcap, okay.
Yeah, and it's this thing, I think men could use it as well. It's basically just a drink cover, but you can get it in like scrunchy form, so women will wear it as like a hairband on their wrist.
Okay.
And then when they get to the bar and get their drink, they just pop it straight over the cup, and it has a little insert for a straw.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there you go. So it's fantastic, and then it just stops you from having that space, that gap where they can sneak into. Because I don't know if you've ever seen videos of footage of it happening at bars. They're so sneaky.
I've never seen footage.
Sneaky. It's horrific. They will just in the corner. They only need the smallest gap. So this is fantastic to see that people are manufacturing things like this.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad that they have to manufacture.
I mean, it's sad, but it's good to know that we can be protected. It's sad that we should have to be, but it's nice to be protected.
Yeah. But it's just like what we were just saying before, it just shouldn't happen to begin with.
No.
But then it's just like, how can, like, imagine the mentality of that guy going out and then just going like, yep, all right.
I don't think I could even put myself in those shoes.
I neither, ever.
I can't fathom that personally, how, is that's your mission, that's your vendetta, that's where you're at, I need to hurt someone else because I can't. Well, that obviously goes to show where they're at as a person, which not to sit with the victim too long, sit with the perpetrator too long, sorry, but, it's hurt people. It's just a cascading effect, really, that I would like to see the government.
Yeah, do something about it.
I've got to say, from my perspective as somebody who runs events, we tried very hard to make it very clear to people that we don't tolerate any of this kind of behavior.
Yeah.
And so far, thank God, we haven't had many, or we've had some issues, but they've been very minor. And I think that's partly because whenever we do an event, there's always a bunch of marketing about our key pillars, which, sharing safe spaces, celebrating creativity, radical individuality, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And reminding your audience about those kinds of things means that they'll come in that headspace.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also you have to follow that up as well. When something does go down, you have to get to the bottom of it. You have to be a bit of a detective, because you need to excise the cancer from your community, especially from what I do. We do invite only stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a closed group. So it's really easy to find out who's the bad nut and get them out.
Yeah.
But when you're a nightclub or a bar and you're just accepting random people off the street, it's a bit harder to do that.
Well, exactly,
It's hard to screen them, isn't it?
Yeah. And get to the bottom of it as well. Like, look what happened with Rapture. Can we pull up good old Rapture?
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was just a nightmare. Yes. And like, honestly, that poor girl. Like,
Oh
my gosh, and the response from the owner as well was just like, dude, pull your head in.
Yeah, I'd had some interactions with him in the past in my Black Betty days, because a friend went through Rapture to start up an event, and it was just...
So Rapture was open back in the day when...
I think it was called something else, maybe, but...
It was the same club, though.
Yeah, and it was the cowboy hat dude.
The cowboy hat dude?
Yeah, it was the cowboy hat dude.
I have no idea.
No? I can't remember his full name. I don't want to say it, but yeah, there was some interesting things to occur with him when we were trying to set up events with money and things. So we were like, we'll just
a bit dodgy.
Go somewhere. We'll go somewhere else.
Somewhere a bit safer. Yeah. But so that's what's so interesting as well, because it's like with nightlife, it can be so corrupt.
Oh my gosh.
Like, where it's just like owners, just like people that work there, whatever it is, like just doing shady deals, basically.
There's a lot of people I have found that claim to be across mental health and claim to be all about, like what you're saying with the marketing side of things. They will claim this. But as soon as push comes to shove, or as soon as you're in the back room with them, things that are being said are completely different.
That's it. Yeah, just like two-faced people, basically.
That's right. You're getting a lot of people that put on that face for the marketing and all that side of things, but they're not actually doing anything in the background to make a difference and following up with things, or if anything, they're making things worse in some.
Well, that's it, and that's like where the toxic kind of scene really shines, because it's like people literally like they talk shit. And then eventually, like, it might get out, or, you know, something might happen.
It's going to come back. It's
exactly,
Perth. It always comes around.
That's
this is a fishbowl. We live in a freaking fishbowl.
Yeah, that's
it's going to bounce
It's always
back.
a good terminology. Like, I always say snow globe, because then it's like you shake it and you watch all the snow fall, and that's all the drama. That's it. Yeah.
Just watch it settling.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But then it gets shaken up again, so...
I must admit, though, like, Perth, in comparison to some of these other big nightlife cities, like Berlin, London... Miami, you know, Los Angeles, we don't have it that bad here.
Well, that's
like when we have drama, obviously it's drama, but it gets blown up so much.
Yeah.
Whereas like over in these other places, this is a nightly occurrence. So
yeah.
Well, that's it. But it's also because like triple the population, and you just get lost in that.
Yeah.
Because that, like, I've never lived in like, you know, Melbourne or Sydney or anything like that. But like even when you go over there and you go out on a night out, you kind of just like blend in with everyone else doing all their own
many
thing.
Bodies moving
that's
around,
it. Just people are doing this, people are doing that. Whilst with Perth, it's like if you go out, you know, 6 months every single Friday and Saturday at the same venue, you'll meet the same people.
Yeah, exactly right. I shout outs to Lee as well, Lee Gordon from Two Fat Dads. I was chatting to him yesterday, and he was actually talking about, forgive me, I think it was the New York music scene. He's just moved back from New York. He's he runs techno, so there's a techno night that he's starting. He's bringing the techno back to Perth, basically.
Sweet, okay.
Which is really cool. But we were talking yesterday, and he was saying about his experiences over in the music scene in New York. And he was actually saying, believe it or not, that they were more supportive in that scene than he's found since coming back into Perth.
Really?
And I think you're right with saying that people exacerbate drama because they've not really got a lot going. Like, a lot of people are sheltered. That's not to speak on everybody's circumstance, because I don't know what everybody's been through. Some people could have been through an absolute ringer, you know.
But I do agree with that, though. They can be sheltered, especially if it's like, you know, even if you work as a bartender, it's like you work every Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the same venue, but then it's like you don't go out to other venues.
That's your kind of tunnel vision.
That's exactly it. Yeah, tunnel vision.
So that's a big thing.
But that's exactly it. And then it's just like...
changing that culture. It's just changing that. And I think it's just... I mean, there's huge cultural shifts at the moment through society, and you can see that with the younger generations coming through.
Bloody
and
TikTok.
The attitude. Honestly, I love it.
Really?
I hate it, but I love it. So I try to stay off it, but I get so much information off of it because I don't watch TV. I'm a crazy person. I don't have a TV in my house.
No, that's good though. TV is bad. Like,
it's so bad.
yeah.
TV is bad, but you get all your media from
TikTok
is much better.
yeah.
I will go to other places and try to make sure it's, it's not just the one source. But there's some good things on there, and it's because I like it because it's not a it's not run, it's not bought essentially. So it's people are able to get on and just say
create content
exactly
basically.
and say what they see going on instead of it being filtered through a news.
It does,
media agency.
It does get filtered though.
Oh my gosh!
Like,
to a certain degree with the algorithm, but you can get on some weird stuff. I'll be honest. If you go through mine at the moment, I'm into just some deep dives and rabbit holes and different things.
Well, fun little facts, right? Because TikTok is actually owned by the Chinese.
Oh my gosh! Yes. Yeah.
And so, did you know that over in China, right? As soon as it hits 9 p.m, if you're under the age of, I think it was 18, right, they'd lock you out.
Pardon?
Out of the app.
Oh.
And that's the reason why is because then after 9 p.m, they want people to be able to hang out with their family, watch TV, do this, do that.
Doing it with video games and other things.
Yeah, over there in China.
So if you're not an adult yet, you're limited to the amount of time you can access these social media or video games.
And then another thing as well is that the TikTok over in China, right?
Yeah.
The way it's filtered is it's all about like promoting like well-being, health, looking after your family, achievements, trying to do well in life, you know, have a good job, good family, the whole lot kind of thing.
That's beautiful.
And then the funny side of it though is that for the Western media, it's all TikTok dances and stupid videos and all that sort of stuff.
Inappropriate stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. But the reason why it's almost like China's like, it's almost like cyber warfare, almost using an app that everyone's using now.
Oh yeah,
because like instead of Facebook, they're using the CCP bloody app.
And it's gone and it's exploded too. Like,
it's everywhere.
That's incredible that they switch it off for everyone.
Yeah, at 9 p.m.
And it's just a blanket thing for everybody.
Yep.
I love that.
I think it's for everybody, or if you're under the age of 18.
Sorry, you said. Yeah, which is fantastic though, because
it's for children. Yeah,
and the impressionable minds that are still forming.
That's it, and learning and everything.
And you're coming into contact with screens, which is just sapping the neural pathways. That's fantastic. I'm impressed that they're doing that.
Yeah,
it'd be nice to see that our governments and stuff.
It might happen, might not.
Maybe at some point, it'd be nice. We can all dream.
So. We went off what we were talking about just before. Before we were talking about TikTok.
I don't know, you tell me.
Oh, gosh.
So we're talking about TikTok, mental health, and then just also like the culture of Perth. Like it has changed so much over the years. And it's just like, I find that it goes in waves almost from like what I've experienced where, you know, it's like say with the dubstep scene and like, you know, like the old school like drum and bass scene as well. Drum and bass has always been around.
Yeah.
But it's like it kind of moves to different venues and it goes through its waves. But it's always there.
Yeah.
And it's like with Amber. Amber was an institution, but then after that closed, then everyone kind of went elsewhere almost.
Yeah, well that's it. I haven't found any gigs that have the same feel as what Amber did, or the same music for that matter, where you get your breaks and your glitch hop and all of that fantastic stuff. I love all genres.
It's all moved to the underground now.
That's
it. Where? Which underground? Am I going to the wrong ones?
Well, I mean, I could.
Yeah.
After the
podcast. Yeah, he'll help you out with
I'm
a few
the kind
parties.
of person that spends most of my time in the underground scene nowadays.
Love that. Okay.
I can't stand the clubs anymore because the only thing that I find that most of them are offering is a dance floor and
a lot of aggression by the bouncers, to be honest.
Yeah.
Which is another.
See, that's another thing I want to talk about.
I don't mind that so much because I'm a big guy. I can handle
you
myself,
can handle
so I don't have to worry
yourself,
about that kind of thing. And I'm also a security guard, so I am.
But just I just find the misconception sometimes of security, where it's like you haven't done anything wrong, and they'll just try and get you out. Like, did you see what happened with the Lookout ages ago?
Oh no.
Look it up. So Lookout security and
those dramas.
And there was
didn't he kick out a disabled person?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
A kid with autism, and right? So basically, they thought he was drunk, right?
Yeah.
And he was driving, right? And he was with his friends, and it was during like the afternoon on a Sunday, I'm pretty sure. So look, Perth man with the autism says he's targeted lookout security. So yeah, thought he was drunk. Yeah, and they wouldn't listen. They just like kicked him out.
So I'm so grateful that I mean, this is absolutely terrible that this happened to this person.
Oh my God.
Oh, bloody ad.
Thank you, 7 News, for that.
Don't they realise when you see an ad, it makes you want the product less and less?
Yeah.
And less.
Just makes me want to click off the page. Actually.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
An angry email.
But
No,
see,
but they make money off it, you see. They make their 20 cents or whatever for the view that they get.
Yeah. But I love that you've shown me this because I'm not going to name the venue.
That's fine.
And I got kicked out of my own gig.
Your own gig?
Yeah. emceeing a gig because I had a friend who had a lisp, who was told he was intoxicated. Being an MC, I'm not going to do anything that's going to jeopardize my gig, my anything like that, the people that are playing, whatever.
Mm.
And so I had come with my friends, and we're all on the ADHD autism spectrum, and this one friend in particular had a really strong lisp, and so he's gone up after all of us and not been let in. And so I've had to discuss with the bouncer. I said, look, you just need to check yourself real quick because he's got a lisp, and you stand in a straight line. He was fine, you know, the whole drama, blah 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 blah. And so I've gone down to be on stage, come back up because I got told to get off stage, which is a whole other thing. The culture, yeah, that needs to be sort of touched on.
Okay.
But the only reason I was upstairs is because I was catching my breath because I was quite annoyed from being told to get off stage. So I've gone up there with this other friend, the one that has autism and ADHD, and he's prescribed dexamphetamines. I don't take them, but also the promoter of the event is the same. So he takes dexamphetamines as well. And so he's come up, we've just been standing up the top having a little breather and a cigarette. No bouncers looking at us because we were just down from the door. We didn't go too far away or anything like that. And so I've come back to the door with my friend, and the bouncers just stood over, as if I didn't exist, stood over him and just gone, so you had a bit much, have you, mate? And I just went, whoa. Like, where'd that come from? You've just seen us chilling, having a cigarette. If anything, from a bouncer's perspective, if you were looking at me, I bounce around a lot. So I'd be like, that girl is on another planet because I'm just constantly moving, especially when I'm quite nervous at a gig as well. So he was just standing still. And I said, look, where does this come from? You know? And he goes, we've been watching you. And I said, I'm the MC. Like, I haven't seen you watching me on stage. I was looking and I didn't see you. And eventually it got to the point where he was like, well, go downstairs and have a water. And then as we've gone to walk in, he's stopped us and goes, no, you're on drugs. Yeah. And I was like, he's not on drugs, he's autistic. Yeah. And then he goes, oh, why are your pupils so dilated? And that's when I said, oh, he's prescribed dexamphetamines, but he's not going to bring out his whole bottle of medication. And it's funny because he nearly did.
Really?
He nearly did. And I was like, don't bring out the whole bottle. That's just silly. Like, leave it. You'll be okay. And he was like, oh, okay, I'll just leave it. Yeah, in this instance. And so the bouncer's gone, oh, you take Dexies, do you? And he was like, yeah, I can prescribe them. And he goes, well, can you show us your medical? Can you show us your medical information, your scripts, or whatever, with your name and information on it? And so he's brought up this thing, which I think they do now, personally, because I don't have it. You can do scripts with a QR code or something.
Okay, yeah.
Which is
It's
quite
very
cool.
similar to like the vaccine, like when you had to prove your vaccine.
Yes. So
very similar to that.
yeah, so he's brought this up with the whole conversation between him and his mum regarding his medications, all of that, all of this evidence, and the bouncer's just gone, that's fake.
Yeah, look,
And
Really?
he's just gone, are you serious? Like, you've just
I won't lie
So-
to you. Like being a security guard, it brings a lot of hotheads
Yeah.
to the table, and especially people that like fail to make it into the police and
That's
stuff like
it.
that. They'll go and do security instead because
yeah,
it's
I
not
see
as
what you're
stringent to
saying.
get in.
Yeah,
Well, see,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I did my certificate too in security guard, like in what's it called again? It's like, it's guard work. It's
people
in security management, or
Yes, it's security management. I can't remember. It's like it's a few tickets though. So like technically, I've got my security guard license, right?
Okay.
And so with that, like when I went to the class, the teacher was like, "Look, you're only doing this because like this is to the whole class. Like you're the bottom of the plastic cup." He literally said that to the.
where did you go to
what
get
a
your training
motivational
done?
speech, jeez.
I'll tell you after.
No, say it now, so we can all just know to stay away from that place.
I think it was CSS.
Because the place I went to was great.
Yeah.
It was the complete opposite. They were like, they came in like, half of you are going to fail because you're drop kicks and we don't want you here, that kind of thing.
Well, see, like they pushed everyone through.
Nice.
Well, it is a bit like that though, because like
Cutthroat.
you get the the hotheads and the people with anger management and that kind of stuff, because they think like, this can get a bit of my stress out by like bashing a few people.
Well, that's exactly it. That's what that's one thing I wanted to say as well, which I found so ridiculous, is like the Lookout once again, right? So the Lookout has been notorious in the summer for throwing people down those concrete steps.
Throwing
People, like grabbing them, and
oh my god.
and there's like 20. Like, can we pull up we got 5 minutes left.
Oh, so bad.
Can we pull up a photo of the Lookout?
Yeah, sure.
That's mental.
Yeah.
And wait, is the Lookout still the Lookout?
Yeah, it's still the Lookout.
Okay, so it's not rebranded, not...
Oh no, so it became Matisse Beach Club.
That's right.
And then it became the Lookout again.
Okay. So is it under the same owners?
Yeah, so look at those
security?
steps.
Is it under the,
and
is
so,
it under the same security? I don't like going to that club.
No,
when I used to, it was very similar to
Lookout in
Northbridge.
Yeah,
similar to the Northbridge sort of vibe, where it's
it's owned by the same people that own basically half of the Northbridge clubs anyway. So
that's it. Yeah,
Okay.
they've
It's
got a
set up
monopoly on Perth.
as that kind of vibe.
say this. Yeah.
But yeah, just imagine throwing someone down those steps though. It's just
I couldn't, because that's, to me, how can you put so much of yourself into a role, into a position? Like I couldn't be a security guard. I don't think, because
well, neither, to be honest. Like,
yeah,
like I've got the ticket, but it's just like couldn't do it.
Well,
I mean,
to be honest, like in my opinion, I mean, I haven't been a security officer that long now, but I think the best security officer isn't the security officer that is like intimidating or big and bulky and strong. It's the caring kind of person, because at the end of the day, you're a security guard to secure things. You want to make sure everything is secure.
Yeah.
So you need to be that person with an eye for detail, but also you can put yourself in other people's shoes as well. So
yeah, you don't want to be an aggressor at the end of the day. You're wanting to be the person to be able to diffuse the situation.
And I think that's the same in any first responder, like police, fire,
Yes.
ambulance, security guard, mental health officer, first aid officer, anyone like that needs to have those skills.
That's another topic to touch on, though. Do you get mental health training when it comes? Because that's something, because I can get angry at this security guard all I want, but if he actually has no idea what autism looks like and ADHD, it's still no excuse. But at the same time, if you've got no idea, no training, what do you have to go off?
That's it.
Well, the training I did, which I did under 6 months ago, there was no mental health / like how to deal with people with just disabilities and things like that. But there was like cultural sensitivity training, like
that's good.
Like Muslim women will wear head coverings and you can't ask them to take them off.
That's good.
There might be people who won't understand what you're saying, so you have to adjust your language and the way you speak to them. And some Muslim women can't be approached by an individual male by themselves. You have to wait for them to have their escort be there or whatever. So there's some cultural sensitivity stuff, but we don't really go into the mental health kind of thing. Nor do I think a security guard should really be dealing with mental health.
Oh my gosh, no.
Yeah.
But just to have some understanding of what different people will present like having a disability and how that could potentially look like someone that's intoxicated, like in this.
Well, yeah. Look, we've just had two examples. One was the disabled person who got kicked out of the Lookout, but also in your case, your story.
But there's probably a lot more, and that haven't been able to come and speak or say anything on the matter because maybe they were in a different situation or whatever it is. But I just think it's something that everybody should be across. I don't mean full on in depth, you should be now a mental health practitioner and someone can sit and have counselling on the door with you kind of thing, but just so you're across it and so people aren't getting hurt.
That's exactly it.
We're definitely getting there. It is from 20 years ago. It's night and day, I think.
It's all about this discussion happening, and the more these discussions happen, the more awareness and light is shed on these,
For
and the more things can actually
adjust and
get better and be better, and people can realize. And
so we've only got like maybe 10-15 minutes left instead of 5 minutes left. But can we go back to your music? Can we actually pull up some of the tracks and go through them if that's all right?
Yeah, of course.
Are we going to go with this one or are we going to go with this one?
Maybe play the other one because I think you'll get in trouble for this one. I don't want you to get in trouble because it is signed to the label. So this one should be fine. This is with...
Is there a music video with it as well?
No, sadly. I wanted to do one. We had all these things and...
One day.
Yeah, that's it. It's all one day kind of thing with creatives.
All right. We're going to play On My Own featuring Aiden Kurt and Chloe Payne. Do you want to give us a rundown of what the song's about?
So this was actually in studio. I hadn't seen Aiden or Zero or Dave for a little bit, and we wanted to come up with something that was very backing yourself, as what we were discussing at the start of this, and just having that confidence to be like, no matter what, you're always going to be there for you. When everybody else falls away, you will still always be there for you at the end of the day. So just having that confidence for yourself and backing yourself, I suppose. It was funny because this was just all on the cuff in the studio.
Oh, I should probably turn that on. So you should be able to talk over the top of the song and the audience will be here.
And so how long did it take to make this?
I think we were in the studio for maybe... Gosh, I hope I don't get this wrong. Dave will be like, I got this wrong. I think it was maybe 12 hours.
Really?
Or something. Mind you, we're very lax with our recording style, so we'd be out having breaks, multiple breaks and things, and we get lost in conversation. Similar to what we are now, it lets it flow, but then it makes it take a bit.
Yeah, no, that's the best way to do it though, because instead of just being like, let's do this, it's like just being able to chill and just catch up and hang out and do this and do that, and then also work on it. So.
Yeah, and it makes it a little bit more relaxed, which is nice. So you're not sort of choking. Yeah. I love this song.
Wow. I didn't expect that to be your voice, but that's amazing. Like,
oh gosh,
I thought it would be like more soulful, like higher pitched kind of thing, but this is like
varies.
Yeah,
it does tend to vary, which is an interesting thing. Is I can go from being very low to like Amy Winehouse style to then
really.
It's the thing is of my childhood is I would impersonate people a lot.
Okay.
So I'm having to work through to really find my sound now because I impersonate people so often. So I could do like Shakira impersonations and different things, but it brought out different tones every time I would sing. So really don't, just word to the wise for anyone starting off, don't impersonate people. Just find your sound and roll with your sound, because it can make it a little bit difficult later on down the track.
Did you ever do like vocal coaching or anything like that at all?
Choir in school.
Just the choir. Yeah.
For anybody else that's doing singing, I do on YouTube. It's called Jacob's Vocal Academy. It's just free.
Okay.
And it is bang on, almost identical to the training. So I did have a few weeks training with what was her name? Can't remember her name to give her a shout out now, but she's one of the best vocal coaches in Australia. And WA, and I did a bit with her in 2018 or 19. I forgot where I was going with that.
That's all right. Yeah.
Really good with that as well.
That's all right though. I mean, like, this is amazing as it is though. So.
Glad you guys like
yeah, that's cool.
R&B side of things.
Do you have any more tracks at all that we can play?
I've got so many, but they're all not. I mean, I could give you some of them and you can play them. Would you like them?
Can we play another one now? Like,
yeah, for sure.
Just wanted to send it over?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Just send it to me on Facebook or Instagram.
Alright.
Or probably Facebook, actually, because we can access it on the computer.
I'll send you...
Just send it to the Infra-Red page.
Okay.
Because that's what I'm logged into at the moment.
Infra-Red page. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've got so many. I've just been a bit shocking and I need to actually pull my finger out and release more of them. But it was, the producer side of things. So I would like to be able to produce and
So have you ever thought about going to like Lab 6 or anything like that at all?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I see it mentioned all the time, and the people come through there and the opportunities. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, Lab 6 honestly it's really, really good. It's
I would
really
love
worth it.
to. So you've been through Lab 6,
No.
have you? No?
No, we just had the guy who runs the show on here before.
Oh wow.
Like,
Okay.
Last week.
Yeah.
Or the week before last. I can't even remember.
Yeah.
It wasn't long ago.
It was a fortnight ago. But Jeremy is just amazing at Lab 6. Like, he's just so lucky. He's literally living the dream, basically, and working with superstars.
Well,
and
someone's going to be the top dog in Perth.
yeah,
Well, that's it. That's it. He saw the niche and he went for it, and yeah, it's amazing. My thing has just been finances. I'm really shitty with money, so I'm getting to the point where I'm getting a little bit better with that, so I can hopefully have a bit behind me to go and do.
Didn't you
course.
say you used to work finance for Banquet?
Yes, shush. Don't go me out on that. That's why we have calculators.
It's always the way it goes. Yeah.
It's funny, the people that work in banking, you'd expect us all to be really good at money. I guarantee.
You know, because you do it for work. Why would you want to do it when you get home?
That's it.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. You just blank out.
No, I
when you
totally get
home.
that. I understand that.
This is
100%.
This is taking its time, sorry.
That's all right.
But yeah.
So how long have you actually been doing singing? Well, you said since you were a little girl, but like, what about the professional side of it, like in events and stuff?
More from 2019. So I'd say from the technimatic gig. Prior to that, I'd done some night markets and nothing stage. So the stage was more 2019. So that's where are we to? 2020.
Pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, pre-COVID. So we were expecting when that Hold Me song got released for it to really take off, but having COVID.
Yeah, COVID.
So we're like, oh gosh, okay.
COVID threw a wrench in
It's so
everyone's
everybody,
world.
yeah.
But for
Stuffed
different
everything
reasons.
up.
Some people got a boost out of it and other people didn't do so well. So
Yeah, that's it. You
That's it,
saw some
yeah.
people really hone in their talents and others really, really, really struggle. But that also goes to show again, like your support network and the people around you really help as well. You can rely on yourself so much, but it does help to have people lift you up through those times.
That's exactly it. I mean, everyone's mental health suffered as well. Like having
Yeah.
the lockdowns, having to stay inside, and it's like uncertain of what's going to happen with the world, and
Well, that's it.
things was just so up in the air.
Yeah, that's it. Being that you're just in this land of unknown, it's like, gosh, what are we doing?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Can I email this? Sorry, or do I have to send it through the Facebook? Because
How do you have it? Is it just like an MP3 file on your phone?
on my phone? Yeah, just
You
chill.
can't just attach it into a Facebook message?
It's being weird and it won't let me.
Oh, that's all right.
It just keeps downloading file and then
Yeah.
it's just being a bit
It's,
temperamental.
it's typical Facebook stuff, but don't get me on the whole bitching about Facebook.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
go
it.
forever.
Yeah, and
I
just
will
the
go
social
forever.
media and
Yes,
just
I relate to that. I've done my social media marketing, my Google ads, and
So, Chloe, we've talked a lot about your past.
Yes.
But what about your future?
what about my future?
What's up next for Chloe? Chloe Payne.
Yes, exciting things. All of what Kylie mentioned yesterday with the Blossom Festival.
So you're going to Blossom, are you?
Yes,
Yep.
I'll be going with her. That's so
Will you be
exciting.
performing alongside her?
Yes, I would imagine I'll be
Ah.
doing a similar MC sort
We
of
should
set.
have got you both on at the same time, because then you could have both promoted your Blossom set.
She was saying that. She messaged me. She was like, "Damn, we're not on the same time." I was like, "Yeah, fair." Quite cool.
Oh,
if
well,
we
that's
were, but
probably our mistake for not thinking that through.
I
but-
said to her, I was like, "Yeah, we both get to have our own long time now."
yeah.
Well, that's good. It'll be so exciting to be up there and be in a bush doof setting with her. It'd be really exciting. So we're doing that. And then Jungle Sounds, like she said. So shout out to Greg. Greg's fantastic and the Nuclear Sounds crew. They're amazing. And then there's the Euphoria gig. So Sammy the Sinner, shout out to her. She is... Both her and Kylie have quickly become my new female crushes.
Oh, really?
I look up to them and I love and adore them just with my whole heart, and everything that they're doing within the scene in Perth is just so important. And Sammy's running the Euphoria gigs, so the inclusive, diverse gigs, which is like a drum and bass / house, a little bit of a mix of the two, which is really nice to just
Yep.
bring in.
Two very popular EDM categories. You can't
Very
really go
much
wrong
so.
with those two.
That's it, yeah.
So she's created a sort of festival setting with those, which is really, really cool to have. Mini festivals, I suppose.
And I heard you've picked up DJing as well. Is that a
Yes.
recent thing?
I've been doing that since before I started doing the MCing. So
Right.
Breakfest a couple of years ago, I went to a friend's house before, and he had his deck set up, and he was like, "You want to go?" And I'm like, "Oh, flashing buttons. Yeah, we'll give it a whirl."
Yeah.
And prior to that, I'd only ever scratched because I had a partner, Bez One, who is an incredible scratch DJ. So he showed me a little bit of scratching. But that was my first time on a controller. Was that Breakfest a couple of years? I think it was maybe 2017.
One way to start on hard mode is to start with scratching.
Yeah.
That's it, definitely.
He didn't teach you to DJ, just scratching.
Just scratching.
Yeah.
Do that, which is it was quite funny. I would have loved for him to actually teach me how to do it.
I just find it ironic that he started with that.
I'd like to learn the hard way first. So
Right.
I think it's important to learn the hard way first. Otherwise, you're just going to get stuck. So I've done that with guitar, and that was a really crappy lesson I learned. Was I went in the easy way, and now I'm having to go back. Same with my impersonating people. Don't do that shit. So I'm having to go back and sort of reel it all in now.
So do you have any gigs lined up at all for the future with DJing?
Yeah, not with my DJing. No, I'll need to get a little bit more confidence and working out the nods and stuff at the moment. I can beat match, but making sure I drop into the right spots, especially it's so important in drum and bass because it's just that atmosphere that you create, and if you drop into the wrong spot, oh my gosh. And I'm not at the stage where I'd be okay with doing
It's
that
all
in
just
public.
practice though. It's
A lot of
all just
DJing is
practice.
song selection and pacing and stuff like that. So yeah.
I need to have more experience and just more practice because I've only really, like, I had a friend lend me their CDJs for a couple of months, so I was
You're pretty lucky with
You
that.
should be a bit more confident though, because you've got a music background already, so that will help you greatly.
I'm hoping to be able to do it and sing a bit like what's her name that's just come out? She's fantastic from the UK. A Little Sound.
A Little Sound.
She is incredible. She DJs and similar to Coven as well.
Coven, yeah.
Coven?
Yeah.
There's also Bex as well, Project Bex.
Yeah, Project
So
Bex.
she's from Perth, isn't she?
Yeah.
Okay. I've seen her ads pop up and I was like, gosh, your marketing's good because it'll pop up in my
And
feed all the
also-
time. Like, let's go.
I hired D-Synth, Davo, who's come on the podcast before. He produces his own sort of like groovy tech house sort of tracks, house tracks. But at the Wavelength event, he was singing over his tracks, which is really cool.
Really?
Oh,
to see.
wow. It's
It was
beautiful.
like putting on the reverb and like
Yes.
singing over the top of his tracks. So yeah, that was quite impressive.
That's
I wasn't
amazing.
expecting him to pull that one out.
Yeah, okay.
We didn't even have like a mic set up for him or anything. It's just like,
He just brought his own mic.
yeah, plugged it in.
Wow.
Off he went.
Just did his own live set. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
That's really cool.
That creates more of an interactive show then, and it
Yeah.
gets people more involved with it, and it's so beautiful. It'd be so beautiful to hear a male singing too. I love that. So for me, I'm all about collaborations. I want to be up on the stage with, you know, another male MC that's rapping so I can sing, and then we're each helping each other to really highlight the best in everyone. That's I think how it should be. I don't
Well, I like to think of it like making a movie. Like you have
Yeah.
your director, your cinematographer,
Yeah.
you have your actor, you have your lighting guys, you have the audio guys, and it all comes together. They all
Yeah.
do their own parts, but it makes a one giant whole.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same for a good party event. You have the lighting guy, you have
all the different
the sound check guy, you have the DJ, you have the MC,
Everyone's
and
got
it
their
all
role,
when it all
yeah.
comes together, it makes a good event. So
Well, yeah, absolutely. Because if one person fails, then the whole thing
That's it.
drops. So it's good. It's a team. It's a team effort, and that's bring it back to what we were saying before with the culture of everything. It's important for people to be aware that it's a team atmosphere and environment and community for us all to be uplifting each other, whether or not we like what someone else is doing or resonate with their sound or style.
But it's all just like supporting each
That's
other,
it.
and
If you don't like it, that's cool. Don't like it. But
yeah,
still support them.
that's it. Yeah,
You know, because what's it going? Who does that? It's not going to affect you to just be like,
exactly. Yeah,
go you.
Yeah.
Know?
that's exactly it.
Yeah.
So we've basically run out of time.
Yeah.
So-
Thank you so much for having me.
So where can people find you again? So at Blossom coming up,
Yes,
and
so
then
Blossom, Jungle Sounds. I've got Euphoria gig. Gosh, there's a few.
no shortage of gigs then.
No, it's all kicked off again, and then I've got a really exciting announcement towards the end of the. I don't know if I'm allowed to say anything.
No,
so I
that's
don't wanna
right.
get
Yeah,
in
that's
trouble
fine.
now,
Yeah.
But I've got a really exciting announcement with Sammy the Sinner towards the end of the year. You can find me on my Facebook. I need to update that, so go more to my Instagram if you're wanting to see what I'm up to and get in touch with me. And I'm also on Spotify, bit on YouTube. But yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm on TikTok, but that's more me just mucking around.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
It's a bit of fun.
Yeah. Just doing a few dances and this and that, right?
Yeah, it's one where I'm an avocado.
Oh, yeah. Very nice. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on, though. Honestly,
thank you for having me. This is such an honor to be on the show
No,
and
it's
all the
completely
amazing
fine.
people that you've had on.
Yeah.
So thank you.
It's completely fine.
Thank you.
And then definitely, like, next time we'll get you and Carly on.
Yes.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. It'd be good to share it with you.
Yeah.
She's
Then we'll just
or
have, like...
whoever the new girl crush is.
Yeah. Well, I dare say they're probably going to be the girl crushes for a while, and then we'll just add to it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
We'll only have a certain number of mics, but we'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
We'll bring our own. It's
Yes.
But yeah, thank you. So,
thank you.
And then
awesome.
we'll see you guys in a fortnight, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I don't think I've got any guests booked in yet. So
No, you're doing FIFO though. You're flying out Tuesday.
yeah, I'm flying out this Tuesday, but I'm saying in a fortnight. So I need to sort something
Well,
out.
who's the next guest that's booked in?
Just Katie Banks at the moment.
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah.
Oh, she's amazing. I don't know her personally, but I've seen her doing her
Well,
thing.
that's the thing with Katie Banks.
She's around. Her name is...
She's hard to knuckle down in person, but she's almost everywhere at
Yes.
the same time.
Yeah.
So
And she's like that Project Bex where you just see the marketing very, very good. Very, very good at what they're doing. And good image as well, which is...
yeah, that's it. Yeah. But
Cool.
so thank you, and then we'll see you next time then.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'll see you next time. I hope you have a good time at work.
No, he'll be right. He'll be average. Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys later on then. So, all right. Catch ya.
Bye.